Hello, podcast fans. This is Harry Carey. Welcome you to the podcast today for Kaslons Korner. And let me tell you, I'm out of fresh ice cold Budweiser. So tonight I'm sitting here drinking a Stella Artois. And let me tell you, these Belgians, man, they sure know how to make a proper brew. But it's not about me right now, about drinking the beers. Let's turn it over to DK.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. Yeah, I'm sitting here right now with one of them Stella Artois, and I know, Harry, you're smiling looking down from heaven right now, knowing that I'm having an ice-cold beer. But I got our co-anchor here today. He's our part-time co-anchor, that is. And anyways, I'd like to bring him on right now.
Well, thanks, DK. I'd like to say thank you for having me on the show. And I'm really excited about this. I mean, listening to it before, just the view is great. I think having a little back and forth banner is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think that you and I going back and forth is really going to help this program out and like raise the bar, if you will. Bar, having some beers. But yeah, I think that we can definitely go back and forth on this podcast and make things great for all the listeners out there. So yeah, do you got any cool topics you want to talk about today? Because you know this. Well, hold on, man. You know this format now. Listeners out there know. It's like no holes barred right here. We're going to try to keep it clean, so you can play this at work. It's a family podcast, but I don't know if down in the future we'll have a little bit more PG-13 program or not. But yeah, you got some topics, whatever. I see you got your little scrapbook right here. What you got down for us today?
Well, first, this is from this last week when we were at work. And we got on the topic of crapping at work. Because I may or may not have used the facilities, which are, what's the word for it?
Is it co-ed?
It's co-ed. It's a co-ed bathroom. And, we do have one female. And I always try to keep the bathroom clean anyway, because, just anybody who goes in there would feel the same and everything.
Yeah. I get it close.
But anyway, so I used the facilities, and apparently, being new, I didn't realize that the toilet bowl doesn't actually fill very quickly. No. And I thought I courtesy flushed, but apparently that wasn't enough.
Oh yeah. I witnessed that one.
And then you had witnessed it.
Whew. Man, I don't know what this boy ate.
Yeah.
But yeah. So. But that's it. That brings up the topic though of today or whatever. Is it okay to crap your pants at work?
Exactly.
How many do you get a year? How many do you think you get?
I think honestly you should get at least two. I think it's a biannual quota that you should have. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Some people say you shouldn't crap your pants until you should stop doing that once you're out of diapers. But it happens.
Hey man, it happens, and I get that.
Keeping it clean.
Keeping it PG over here.
That's what we like to do.
For the kiddies out there or whatever, the kiddies listening or whatever might as well be still in their little Pampers.
Yeah.
And that is not a plug for Pampers, by the way. Right now we switched to Loves around here because they're a little bit cheaper. Pampers listeners out there, if you're buying Pampers, let me tell you, you write to corporate and you tell them to lower their prices. But that's neither here nor there on this topic or whatever. But incontinence sucks. There, I think we go right there.
Yeah.
We don't. I ain't wearing no Depends, man.
No.
And my wife already told me, bless her heart, that she's not wiping my ass.
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah, my wife, no way, never happened. She'll put me in a home before that happens.
Yeah, somebody who gets paid.
Yeah. She needs somebody to get paid for that, to do that.
You said twice a year. You said I always lived on the philosophy that once a year was what you get. And let me just ask: have you ever crapped your pants at work?
At work?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When was this?
Well, this was back.
Don't tell me it was since you started working with us.
No, this wasn't like last week or anything.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that was stinking up the building.
No. That was I think that was about 2 or 3 years ago. So I was in the military, in the armed forces, if you will. And well, I got to work and it was Taco Day on board. Taco Day is every Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, man. Taco Tuesday. High five. You know what? Swig a beer for Taco Tuesday.
That is refreshing.
That is quite refreshing. But yeah, Taco Tuesday.
Anyway, so they the meat on board is, well, it's grade F. It's not even consumable by standards of prisons.
Mm-hmm.
So they're feeding us that, and I got tons of Texas Pete hot sauce, which I think that's a natural diuretic anyway.
A diuretic, not for the front, but definitely for the back.
For the back.
For the back.
Yes.
For the back flush.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm eating it, and about 3 hours later we had PT. So I'm at PT, and we're running our mock PRT, our fitness test, and I get about 4 laps into my 1.5 mile run, so I'm at about a mile right now, maybe a little less, maybe a little more actually than a mile, and I'm like, oh man, my guts are just killing me. I just feel everything shifting around.
So you got what they call the bubble.
I got
guts.
the bubble.
You got
guts.
the BGs.
Yes, I got a serious case of BGs at this point,
Yeah.
and I'm jogging, so that's not helping at all. Well, as I'm running, I'm like, I need to relieve some pressure. And, well, it wasn't just gas that came out. So
it was the Shart Meister.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Swig a beer for the Shart.
For the Shart.
For the Shart.
So, anyhow, when I did that, I immediately realized what happened. And I didn't want to just stop running, because I felt like that may or may not have drawn more attention. I couldn't really tell. Anyway, I finished the run, but I finished.
Pause. Pause right now. You sharted in your PT uniform, and you still finished the race.
I still finished the race because I was that dedicated.
Wow. So this guy's running around with the
dookie draws. He had the dingleberry. It's kind of scary.
But
it wasn't
a song for a future time, by the way. You got that, listeners. That was a sneak peek. Steve knows what we're talking about right now. But yeah, you finished it.
I finished it, and when I crossed the finish line and got my time, I continued running to the facilities to then discard my soiled underpants.
Did anybody yell at you and they're like, "Hey, the race is over"?
Yeah, they were all wondering why I kept running after I just ran my 1.5 miles. So I guess that kind of drew attention. I guess hindsight's 20/20 there, but yeah. So I come back and they're like, what happened? And I kind of explained to them, and then obviously it just got blown out of proportion, and everybody knew by the end of the day, all over everything. But anyway,
now, was that the fastest time you ever ran because you knew that
it was actually the second fastest I've ever ran in 5 years. So that's 10 of them, or 9 of them so far.
So you can
and
say
that was the second fastest time.
If you need a little extra push, you're saying don't take that morning crap.
Don't do it.
Just go ahead and just hold it in.
Just hold it in and run.
And then run.
Yep.
But there you go. You don't need any kind of pre-workout or whatever. Just hold in your crap.
Yeah.
Just hold it until you can't hold it any longer.
Just think of all the money you'd save on supplements.
Yeah, just by holding in the dookie. Yeah. Now that's being on duty right there. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna take a short break though, and then we'll come right back here on the corner.
Just coming back or whatever. I just thought I said we're gonna take a shark break or whatever. It's kind of stupid, isn't it, Steve?
I think it plays well with the current topic, though.
Which is, the listeners out there, you just, let's say you just skipped a dial or something where you screwed up. Like, we are talking about screwing up, that's for sure. So we're talking about sharding.
Yeah.
Sharding at work and whether or not it's
acceptable.
Is it acceptable? Is it best for business at all?
I don't think it's best for business.
Well, it definitely isn't best for business.
No.
But is it acceptable behavior at work? I mean, sometimes you can't control the stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just gonna go because I got two per year, and now I got to use them because it's December 3rd. So I need to use these up now that I have them. Yeah. They don't roll over anything.
True.
But this isn't AT&T or
you're definitely
singular.
Right.
No, it was singular. Yeah,
it was singular. Yeah, you're right. Singular back in the day. The rollover minutes.
The rollover minutes. You don't get
rollover Sharts.
You don't get rollover Sharts. No, absolutely not.
But I don't know if you heard that, man. But I tell you what, I'm feeling lucky compared to you right now, brother. Like, I'm over here enjoying these Stellas or whatever, and I think you need to come clean with the audience or whatever. That is not a Stella over there that you've been refreshingly drinking.
It is a Coca-Cola.
But hey, there's nothing wrong with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's way better than Pepsi.
Oh yeah.
Pepsi can shart themselves or whatever because
yes.
But yeah, I'm a Coke guy too. So Coke out there. Yeah, well, you can have a swig of Coke for the working man.
Yep.
And I'm having a swig of Coke for the Coke employee right there.
That is refreshing.
That is definitely refreshing. Yeah. I mean, hey, just think of it like this, though. When you look up in the bartender manual of how to make a Long Island iced tea, it does not say Pepsi.
No. Nope.
It definitely
says
says Coke.
Cola. Well, it says Cola.
Which you would assume would be Coca-Cola. Because it doesn't say Pepsi-Cola on the can anymore.
No,
and if it ever did, I don't even know if it ever did. I might be over here just talking Shart right now. For the kiddies out there, we're keeping it clean. But yeah, I mean, crapping at work, that was definitely the topic of the day. You know what? That brings up to something the other day that I thought. I was thinking the other day about, you mentioned to me or whatever, you were telling me stories about, times when you were at the bar and stuff like that back in the day, where you would talk about how you can. What was it you said? It's something about like smoking and drinking. How does that go hand in hand?
Yeah, smoking and drinking. Because when I was in Virginia, there was no smoking ban there, so you could light up at the bar, have your drink, whatever. Nobody said anything. It wasn't like all the other places now where you have to go outside and be 50 feet from the door, and it's the middle of winter and you're freezing. Freezing your ass.
Hold on,
damn it, have a cigarette.
Hold on, damn it, that pisses me off right there because you know what? America, man. America is built on freedoms, man. And what kind of freedom is that right there? Now you can't even smoke in the establishment when you think of it like this. The bartenders, not the bartenders, the bar owners, that property owner right there should determine whether or not he's going to allow smoking in his establishment or not. Well, not the U.S. government, not your state governments, your local governments like that. You own that land. You should be able to do whatever you want, and that's what America is all about. America.
I like it.
Yeah. But anyways, you please. I digress. Please go back to the topic right here. Whatever you're talking about, the drinking and smoking.
Smoking and drinking, right? And we were talking. I think we got onto it because we were discussing the whole. Can you crap your pants at work?
Right.
And we were thinking like when you crap your pants at work, you usually don't pee your pants as well. Typically speaking, I never did that.
Right.
So.
But when you sit down though,
when you sit down, it's just
it is a little different.
It is uncontrollable.
Yeah.
It just happens.
So you're saying like I think it was you were saying you can smoke, and not drink. But what was the other part?
But you can drink. You can't drink and not smoke if you're a smoker.
And what was it?
Even if you're not a smoker, I mean, I know tons of people that they don't smoke at all.
Social smoking.
They're social smokers.
Smoking,
if they're drinking, they'll light up and have a cigarette. But they won't touch the things until the next time they're drinking.
You got your Coke, but a swig of a beverage
swig
for the socializing.
Call these beverage breaks.
Hey man, we got to keep our throats. You know what? I'm not gonna say that though because anybody who listened to the previous podcast knows I was talking about shoving garden hoses down your throat.
Yeah,
and we're not
We're talking too much about your throat.
Yeah, we're not talking about shoving anything down there. We're not talking about making sure things are well lubricated.
We're not about that.
No. We are talking about, for the working man, though, one more time. One more time. Beverage break for the working man. All right, but yeah, you were saying that you can.
Yeah, but I was saying that you can make the similarity or the the relation between smoking and drinking and pooping and peeing, where it's like you can pee and not poop. But you can't poop and not pee. It's like when you're drinking, man, and you're smoking. If you're a smoker, you can smoke and not drink, but you can't drink and not smoke, whether you're a smoker or not. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I think that's the best way to describe the situation.
I agree. And you know what? I think that enough said on that. And if you got arguments or whatever, you know where to send those questions to or whatever. I tell you right now where you can stick those questions. But to be honest, I want to hear your feedback and whatnot, and that was just playful right there. So don't turn off this podcast right there for that. That was a joke. And please, if that really offended you, then please continue to listen because we need to build up that self-confidence and everything like that.
And just write us.
Write us in.
Let us know.
Write us.
Don't just write us off. Write us in.
Don't write us off. Write in.
Right in.
I
like it.
Yeah. So that's questions at kaslonskorner.com. It's posted all over. You already know where to look. You got the stream. You're listening to the podcast. So you know where to find us. Submit your comments to that. We will definitely address it in another show. But yeah, I agree completely. I can't think of a time that I have ever, and I mean ever, sat down and when I had to take a poop, I didn't pee. Yeah, I mean,
I think the only way it would be possible is if you were severely dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I'm not a doctor or anything.
But you know what? If you were, that brings up a good point. It was around the back of all those, laxative medications or whatever. You know, when they talk about being constipated, the first thing they tell you to do is to make sure you're hydrated.
Exactly.
So, I mean, can you even poop if you're dehydrated like that?
Who knows?
I don't know. Scott O'Grady knows though how to stay hydrated. But, man, let's talk about Scott O'Grady. Whatever. I don't know how long that's been. Like what, 10, maybe 15 years. Scott O'Grady, the guy that burped for the working man, by the way. Scott O'Grady, the guy that drank his pee to stay alive.
That's right.
How many times can you regurgitate, or not regurgitate, is that the word? Recycle, yes. Recycle your own urine, because you got to think like evaporation and stuff like that. I mean, at some point you got to assume that like that pee's going to run out.
Yeah.
And then what? You know what you are? You're up creek without a paddle.
Yep.
Sheep Creek. That's what we call it, sheep.
Sheep
Creek.
Creek.
Up Sheep Creek without a paddle.
Why would you go up a creek without a paddle?
I don't know why anybody would ever want to go to Sheep Creek to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you know what? We digress on that one. Let's digress.
Shall we?
Yeah, we'll delve to digress. I don't even know if that's proper.
Is that even a real thing?
It is now. You know what? We coined it. It's
it.
now
Copyright.
right here. Copyright.
Registered trademark.
It's not registered yet, brother. We need to do that. But you know what? They downloaded the podcast. We have audio evidence now that we said it first. Right here. What is it right now? The 26th of October, where we're running this little shindig. There's going to be time for edits. So if you hear 26 October, yes, we started a little early, but that's because we care about you, the listener. But yeah, so you know what? To be honest, though, my brother, I think that we conquered enough today, and we covered enough topics of the fecal matter.
Yeah, I think that's about.
We need to make sure that our other listeners out here, besides just the men that get down and dirty or whatever, the younger ones, they're probably having a few chuckles, about duty. If I say duty right now, you got a little 5-6-year-old over there going, But yeah, we got to think about those upper echelon tiers of tweenage, if you would call it. We need to look out for them too. So, you know what? I think we'll take a short break and let's come back. And I know you were talking about the other day about unicycles. When we come back, we got a little banter to go around about unicycles and bicycles and the adverse effects to those. So we'll take a short pause right here to regroup, and we'll be back here at the corner. And we're back here on podcast over here with Kaslon, and we got Steve over here. Man, Darth Vader, I found out, is the one that must have stole my last beer over here. Steve, I was looking at you for it, but I know you don't drink anymore, so I'm over here wondering, where the hell is my Stella?
Go home, Darth Vader, obviously. You're drunk.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, man, we've been covering some crazy topics, and it makes me laugh that we're going to come and sidebar. No, let's say segue. Let's get on a little. Okay. You know what's funny? Let me get in there before I start talking about what we're going to segue into or whatever. Before I actually realized that was a proper term for changing subjects, right? Or how to a transition period into a new subject. I always laugh because the first thing I heard about it was actually at one of my professional military enlisted education courses, right? And anyways. The funny thing was about segue, the instructor was always like, and now to segue into another topic, and I didn't know that. I was like, segue? I was like, what do you mean to like scooter into a new topic or whatever? Like, what do you mean to get on a scooter or whatever to go to a new topic? It was kind of crazy or whatever. But yeah, we've been talking about the rollover minutes or whatever, like with Singular used to have or whatever. Yeah,
do you get rollovers?
But you don't get rollover poops, right? Because but But that makes me laugh because then it's like you don't get rollover poops or whatever. Like so you might so does that mean you should use up your allotted? You say 2, I still say 1. 1 or 2 poops a year then.
Honestly, I don't think you should ever poop your pants if it can be helped.
Yeah.
You know, don't just go to work and be like, you know, I could walk to the bathroom or poop my pants because I go home. You know, don't think like that. Just, you know, if you can make it to the bathroom, make it to the bathroom, obviously. I'm just saying it happens, you know. But I'm not saying that I condone pooping your pants.
I think we should make a PSA for that, a public service announcement or whatever, like, you know, saying something funny like that. You know what? It's like, this is Kaslons Korner on the podcast, reminding you not to crap your pants at work.
Sponsored by Charmin.
Sponsored by Charmin. No, Charmin would want us to crap our pants, because then we definitely know they have to wipe stuff up.
Yeah.
Depends might not agree, right? The Depends wouldn't like that. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so hey man, we're gonna talk about unicycles, man. We're talking about you said this. Tell us about the internet meme you saw.
Okay, so I'm subscribed to this page on Facebook. It's called Stuff. I'm going to use Stuff as the title. That's not actually the word that it's used. You know, keeping it clean here on the KK, if you will.
That's right, Kaslons Korner.
Oh yeah.
Double K.
Double K.
Double K.
But they call it
K,
Stuff.
K.
I'm glad you didn't stop at 3. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Yeah, let's just carry on.
But anyway, no, it's called Stuff My LPO Says. Is your LPO is your boss is you know, listed at E6. LPO, leading petty officer in the Navy. But you know, Navy's one of the oldest, is the second oldest service in the military. Some say, you know, oh no, it's not because the Marines are older, and they're not. But anyway. I was looking at these demotivational posters and memes, and I happened to be scrolling through their pictures, and one of them was of a guy on a unicycle, and it's captioned, "This man on a unicycle in Air Force uniform is they have an arrow pointing to it, and then below it." It's like it's something in Guam.
He was a pilot, wasn't he?
He was, and the reason we know that he was a pilot is because our friend Jeff, who we work with, had recognized the guy.
Oh
in
yeah,
Guam.
he knew the guy.
He knew that when he
That's
was in
right.
Guam.
Yeah,
He was
Jeff
like,
him.
he didn't personally know him, but
Right,
he's
but
like,
he knew of him.
He's like,
He
yeah,
knew who it was.
He knew. He's like, that's Guam. He's like, I've seen that guy.
Yeah,
I've seen that guy riding.
And he said he was an officer.
He's
right?
an officer. And
He's an officer. You know what? That really. Oh, that makes me a little upset, you know. And not. I mean, you know what? You can have your little niche things, right? You know, you can be a hipster, whatever you want to call them, whatever. You can have your little your set things. I mean, last week we met a guy. Remember that guy we met or whatever? He rode a trike. This guy still rides a trike, man, and he was twice our age.
This guy is
more than twice our age. I think
Probably.
He said he was in his late 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess that would be about.
That's slightly. Anyway,
it doesn't have nothing to do with the story. Let's go on. Anyways. But yeah, he rides a unicycle, and the guy makes twice as much as you and I do.
Yeah.
Or he makes what you and I do together.
Yeah.
As, you know, if we were to combine our paychecks or whatever. You know, what does that mean? Like, the guy can't afford the whole bike? What? If you make that kind of money, you should be able to afford the other friggin' wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
On the bike?
On the unicycle. Or unicycles supposed to be just in circuses and stuff like that. I go to a circus, you know, I don't even want to look at a unicycle. I want to see the little bear riding around in the freaking little little car or whatever. Like when you remember that Simpsons episode when you're talking about going to the ballet, the bear driving that car, dude. But yeah, just you know, I don't find the humor. I just see the coolness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're riding a unicycle, that's not something you put on your resume.
You look like a tool, dude.
You don't put that on your resume as a special skill. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't anyway. I
don't
want people knowing I could ride a unicycle.
I don't know anybody who ever got laid on a unicycle.
Well, that should be our new topic then. Can you get laid if you ride a motorcycle?
Listeners,
if you ride a unicycle.
You know what? There you go, listeners. Write in. Let us know. Have you ever gotten laid by riding a unicycle?
And do you ride a unicycle regularly?
Oh, and hold on, and send pictures of your face if you do that, because and we'll know if it's a fake picture or what. If you ride a unicycle, no, you're not going to BS your way out of this one. But yeah, so yeah, unicycles though. I mean, Who still rides those, man? I don't know when the last time I thought the circus was popular or whatever.
No.
The only circus thing that I ever enjoyed, man, were Barnum's little animal crackers, dude.
Yeah.
Animal crackers.
I'm not gonna lie, I went to the circus, but I was 5.
Yeah, I know, right? And when I was
and
5,
it was great then.
When I was 5, I probably thought a unicycle was cool.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like women. And you know what? Women don't like guys that ride unicycles. I want to find out if that pilot or whatever actually what.
I want to find out if that's true. Though.
Yeah, I know. Do women like? Do women like them? You know, women. Would you think that it's attractive to have a guy that was a mountain biker, right, who actually rides bikes, right? Bike as in 2 wheels. Or motorcycles or whatever for that example.
Exactly.
Nobody heard about throwing a motor on the back of a unicycle and making it cool. You know, Harley Davidson did get popular with that.
There's no Harley Davidson unicycles.
There's no Harley Davidson unicycles. And Harley Davidson, you better not, in spite of this, like come out there with a unicycle that has a freaking V-twin on it. I will be very upset with you. And I will defriend you, or not defriend. What's it? No, not unlike. What is that on Twitter, man? When you follow, I will unfollow you. You don't have Twitter yet.
I do not have a Twitter.
You know what? You need to get a Twitter or whatever.
I think I might have to.
Because the masses or whatever, that's how we're going to start getting all of our stuff. You can Facebook like our page. It's actually in development right now.
Well, the thing is about Twitter that I have a problem with is just the hashtag. Somebody put just on their Facebook, and they put like 12 hashtags. It's like, yeah, I had a good day. Went to the park with my dog, and
and every word was hashtag.
And there was like hashtag dog, hashtag wake,
hashtag went, hashtag to, hashtag dog, hashtag park.
Yeah, there was like 12 hashtags. I'm like, I don't even know what that means anymore.
What a hashtag?
Yeah, I don't even know why it's there anymore.
I always thought, I remember like saying they used to call it the pound sign or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's hashtag.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever, you know what? Maybe you guys had a better public school system than I did. I'm a redneck man from Nebraska or whatever. Nobody taught me what a hashtag was. Last time I heard hash was when I moved to this country. When I learned hash. And then when I heard about hash before, I don't know if this is what you were about to say, but I was told to stay away from hash.
Yeah.
The only hash I was ever allowed to have is hash brown.
Hash browns. What else? Freaking corned beef hash, maybe.
Yeah, corned beef hash. Yeah. But
fry a little of that up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're talking. See, now you're
talking
about food again. You know what? And actually, tell the listeners, man, about the little cool little concoction you came up with over our little break, man.
Over the break, we were a little famished, so I whipped up a little queso dip, little cheese, Velveeta cheese, and Rotel chilies and habanero. Can of that and a pound of Velveeta cheese in the little cooker right here. Keeps it nice and warm while you're eating it.
The crock pot warmer, bro.
The crock
pot warmer 250 right here. I don't know.
The crock pot Little Dipper,
cool. Little Dipper right here.
The Little Dipper.
It is. It actually says Little Dipper. I thought you were just funning, man.
No,
but it does say Little Dipper.
Little Dipper.
The Little Dipper.
Crock pot is on point right now with the Little Dipper.
Crock pot, dude. Like, the crock pot did a great thing for us, man. Especially bachelor. When I used to batch it up, dude. Crock pot, dude, that saved my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. You just dump. Here's a fun little recipe. I used to take, some boneless pork chops, man. I used to spray the bottom of the crock pot, and I used to put pork chops at the bottom, a little salt and pepper on top of those, throw them in there, and then I take a can of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, dude. Just put it right over the top. Come back home after that thing's been on low for about a good 6-8 hours. I come back, man, I'm talking about good eats, dude. Yeah.
You went from pork chop to fork chop because you don't need a knife; it's so tender.
Oh man, they say it cuts like butter, bro. It really does, But you know what? This little rig you got going here, the Little Dipper, and you know what? Send us a little check here, Crockpot Company or whatever, because we're promoting the crap out of this little rig. But yeah, so what'd you say? You said again, what all goes in this again?
It's just a pound of regular Velveeta cheese and a can of Rotel chilies. You can either use the habanero, which are obviously the spicier kind. And
by the way, let me cut you off real quick there. I want to thank you for warning me, because you didn't, that it had habanero chilies in it, because I just got done on last week's show, man.
You had your last week's show. I listened to your last week's show, and I forgot about the acid reflux that you were experiencing.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here right now in a little bit of pain, but I'll tell you one thing. It is actually worth it. It's some tasty stuff, man. So yeah, my hat is off right now to, actually the hat off of the week goes to the little Crockpot Company. I don't have the due diligence right now to look up that kind of stuff. But yeah, man. You said Rotel chilies.
Rotel chilies,
So,
1 can, and a pound of Velveeta cheese.
Velveeta cheese, man.
Just let it melt and stir it up. It's good.
Yeah, it is good. Let me tell you what. You guys need to do that, especially on game days, man.
Game days.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is NFL Sunday. And I'll tell you what.
Excited.
I'm going to go over there. Yeah, I am very excited, actually. Fantasy football looking strong. Actually, I have one thing I need to say about fantasy football this week. Let's bring up fantasy football right now. But you know what? I had Cam Newton, right?
Yeah,
on
me
Thursday.
too.
But guess what this guy did? This guy forgot to set his lineup because he had Phillip Rivers from last week starting. Cam Newton was on the bench with 27 points. You know who's starting this week for me because Phillip Rivers is on a bye? Andy Dalton.
Ooh.
Is Andy Dalton going to throw 3 touchdown passes to A.J. Green this week? Go.
Unlikely.
Probably not. You're right. But you know what? I need that to happen right now. Otherwise, I'm not.
I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I had a similar situation though with fantasy football. I know I'm on a Yahoo league. I'm not sure what kind of league you're on, but I also have Cam Newton, and my QB1, if you will, is on here somewhere.
Wow, the preparation is not required for this podcast.
Drew Brees. No,
you got Drew Brees.
I got Drew Brees.
I'm going against Drew Brees this week.
Yeah, but the thing is with Drew Brees,
Andy Dalton.
Ooh, yeah.
Ouchtown population me, bro.
Hashtag not good.
Hashtag not good for me. Not good for me. Yes, it's not good. Hopefully, you know what? I hope Borat makes an appearance on our show. Sacha Baron Cohen, if you're out there, come on to the show. We want you. But yeah.
So,
football,
but yeah, like I had Cam Newton on, and
Cam, as they do on NFL Game Day morning, Cam. But, I'm sorry, I digress. Go on.
Anyway, yeah, I had Cam Newton on my lineup from last week because Drew Brees was my normal starter, but they're on a bye, and I left him on there. I didn't switch my lineup. I didn't realize that the freaking Panthers were going to be playing on Thursday, so I didn't change my lineup until yesterday. Well, I couldn't even change it. But Cam Newton actually outperformed what he was projected to, so that was good. But now I'm wondering if he's still going to outperform Drew Brees this week.
Yeah. Oh, man, you're talking about Drew Brees, man. You know what? I tell you what. Let's take a short break right now because I'll be honest with you, the Stella Artois is going through me right now a little too fast. But let's come back and let's talk about Drew Brees and let's talk about like the future of Hall of Fame quarterbacks and let's see a little bit about his career right now and then let's see if we can wrap up this week's show. So we'll be right back here on the corner. We're back again. You know, over the break, I was over here messing with my Galaxy S4, and it said something funny. I hope it recreates it again, but here, let me try it. So, let me pull back up.
Is this like the Samsung Galaxy version of Siri?
I don't know what Siri is. Nobody likes Apple. Anyways.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Hold on here. So let me see if this works. Okay, so. Hi, Galaxy.
I have no specific answers for that. Let me do a search for an answer to version of Siri. I don't know what Siri is. Nobody likes Apple anyways. Okay, never mind then. Have that.
You know what? That's awesome. It kind of picked up when we were debating about that, but I'm glad that Samsung holds its ground. Hi, Galaxy. Do you like me?
You betcha.
That's awesome. Let's try this one again. Hi, Galaxy. I love you.
And if I had emotions, I have no doubt you'd be top of my love list.
Oh, it's incredible. I love the way that they wrote this thing, man. It's pretty cool. This one's good. Hi, Galaxy. What are you doing?
Chewing the fat with you.
Oh, man. You know what? Samsung, you did a good job on that stuff. So, anyways, we're going to talk about fantasy football, and then let's wrap this thing up this week. You were talking about Drew Brees or whatever.
Drew Brees, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the savior of my team this year.
Drew Brees, man, I tell you what, that's a Hall of Fame quarterback in the making, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this guy, like, honestly, and arguably, they always say when you talk about stuff like this, like, arguably, I think that he could go down above Joe Montana, man. I think that he's
definitely up there. Yeah,
he's way up there, man. And I tell you what, it's a shame that when you talk about they talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, they always say two names. They say Tom Brady and they say Peyton Manning, but I want to hear Drew Brees up in that.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, Drew Brees definitely gets
and then just
not an honorable mention, but he needs to be discussed in that top 3.
Absolutely, it's not even the fact that he's just an amazing quarterback. He has an amazing story in general.
Absolutely, they had the whole Chargers thing to the separated shoulder,
and they pretty much wrote him off as
for Phillip Rivers.
For Phillip Rivers.
Well, Phillip Rivers, he's a decent quarterback.
You
don't
have
get
a
me
bone
wrong,
to pick
but
with him now.
Absolutely.
Via fantasy football, but
tell me about that. Like I should have started Cam Newton. I forgot about it, but because Phillip Rivers is on a bye week right now. But I'll tell you what, you were totally right though. But it's like Phillip Rivers over the past couple of years has really sucked, to say the least, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at it, like Drew Brees has one thing going for him. He has that Super Bowl ring, man.
Yeah.
And Phillip Rivers does not. But yeah, Drew Brees, man, he should definitely be up there in the upper echelon, dude. Like he is like high caliber, dude, elite when it comes to quarterbacks. And I mean. The dude, he came close to breaking Marino's passing record, I can't remember, 2010 or 2009? I can't remember.
I think it was the same year they won the Super Bowl, I think.
Was it?
I think it was.
I thought it was the year after, but you know what? It really doesn't matter because he almost beat it. He got second, and then he murdered it another year, like it was either last year or the year before that. And, he probably on progress to do it again this year, I mean, we're talking about passing yards, but yeah, this guy is so deadly accurate, man. Like, he's the kind of guys we need in the military, right there.
Yeah.
His accuracy for throwing a football, we need for taking out the Taliban.
He needs to be a sniper, yeah.
Absolutely. But, fantasy football, man. You guys got questions and comments about fantasy football, send them in. And everything, but
we like to hear your input on fantasy football. Maybe lineups and maybe some sleepers.
If you got sleeper of the week, dude.
You got some intel. We'd like to hear it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be just about sleepers and stuff like that. No, we need some entertainment value on this podcast. We got plenty of it to offer you guys, but it never hurts to have a little more. But, Steve, what do you think? You think it's about time we can wrap this up for the day?
I think we're about out of time.
Yeah, we are about out of time. What are you talking about? We don't have a time limit on this thing.
That is true. We could go all night.
We definitely could. And the ladies know that we can. But you know what? I think that, let's wrap it up for the week. Steve, you got anything you want to say to the audience before we go?
I think everything's been said.
Yeah, you think so. Well, you know what? I got one last thing. I say you guys be safe. Make sure you keep that nose out of the corner. We'll see you again next week here on the corner.